Hello, and I hope you're having a great day. My name is Liam Wood, and my discussion section is A17 with TA Crystal Alba. I'd like to start with some insight into my positionality in today's society. I am a straight white male who uses he, him pronouns, and I am 18 years old, currently a new freshman to UCSD in my very first quarter of college. The region of ethnic studies at the collegiate level is something very new to me, but also an eye-opening experience to the hardships that may go unnoticed to me. I'm a middle/upper class child, so I have grown up in comfortability and never paid close attention to the oppression and discrimination embedded within our society. I have learned a lot from this class, but my key takeaways lay in lectures within week 7 and week 10. I'll start off with week 10. And the key concept that I'm going to be focusing on is race-based nationalism. Race-based nationalism is the nationalistic belief of maintaining quote-unquote whiteness in the U.S. nation and excluding all other races and peoples. I believe race-based nationalism is important because it was used to form an identity for the United States in the past through whiteness and discouraged immigration. Forms of race-based nationalism are seen throughout time in U.S. history, but a specific moment that caught my attention was the attempts on annexation of Hawaii. This coincides with my aha moment during week 7, where in Dr. Sasaki's lecture, she mentions that the U.S. government was hesitant on the annexation of Hawaii. This was not due to the corrupt and fake coup of white plantation owners who overthrew the monarchy of Hawaii, Queen Liliuokalani, but was hesitant because of the racial demographic of Hawaii at the time. During this time, white Americans and Europeans were a minority of Hawaii, with greater populations of immigrants, and this led to U.S. hesitation on annexation. This directly shows the U.S. practice of race-based nationalism to form a quote-unquote white identity. To further prove instillment of race-based nationalism, Asian workers were desired to be immigrated so they could impose harsher working conditions on them rather than onto white Americans or Europeans. This result led to cheaper labor as well, and because of the large influx of Asian immigration, legislation was later passed to limit Asian immigration into the country and to maintain race-based nationalism within the United States. The next week that I'm going to be diving deeper into is week 10, and the key concept that I will be focusing on is global capitalism. Global capitalism can be defined as the expansion of capitalistic beliefs like private ownership, free trade, and profit-driven markets from a single country outside its borders and operating within multiple nations as a unified capitalistic market. This coincides with globalization of nations, relying on interdependence due to the sudden expansion of capitalism throughout the world. This is an important concept because it completely defines and reshapes the way societies and nations operate now and in the future. My aha moment during week 10 was in Dr. Goslin's lecture, with explanation from Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels on how big companies yield profit from labor, yet the wages for the labor is minuscule compared to the profits for the big men. This is due to capitalizing on laborers for their hard work, fueling the capitalist system. Also, according to a week 10 lecture, factors that drive capitalism further include advancements in computers and information technology, multinational corporations, and global trade and investment. These together can lead to uneven growth and further exploitation of inequalities. Lastly, I'm going to talk about my personal impact reflection of the course and what I thought was the most impactful topic, which is going to be in week 5, focusing on industrial capitalism. The most impactful topic in this course, in my opinion, is industrial capitalism and the entrapment of the working class. When examined, we saw that immigrants were led to the United States with the false hope of the quote-unquote American dream. They were then fall into a poverty cycle upheld by the capitalist system of poor working conditions, little wages, and high competition for working jobs, which also led to easy replacement of workers. This is the most cruel and dark side of American history, in my opinion, trapping innocent immigrants into poverty for their entire lives and keeping families poor. This is my final for Ethnic Studies 1R. Thank you very much for listening.